pleased to say that we're joined by another guest this week, Mark Lillis. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening.
How are you? You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, just got back from the academy down at Huddersfield Town, so doing okay, thanks.
Fantastic. And probably a great place to start is on this show. We've obviously looked at grassroots football in the academy. We've had different guests on in the past to talk about that. I mean, how are you finding working at the academy? Is it something that you're enjoying? Are the footballers coming through at a high standard?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I've been back. I've been back as academy manager at Huddersfield Town. I had 8 years there as a player, but I come back about 17 months ago. I was working over in Spain in the Manga Academy there for 8 months. So I've come back, and now with these new EPP rules and that, we've got Category 2 status, but it's been hard with the new rules, but it's given us a chance to get more quality coaches in and more staff, full-time staff, so that's been good. And the academy's coming along well. We've got some lads who've made the first team debuts, and a few of the lads now are training with the first team, but it's going okay.
Fantastic. I mean, in the past, we got onto the grassroots football when the England under-21s had their disastrous tournament in the summer. Are there still some improvements that you can see that can be made, say, at Huddersfield, but also around the country with academy footballers, but also at grassroots level?
I think so. I mean, I have a word in our academy, and well, a few words. We've got a discipline and a one, but simplicity. You know, we tend to, I think, in this country, just, you know, we've got too many rules and all this. But you know, when I worked in Spain for 8 months, working with seeing Spanish play the way they play, the way they train, everything was simple. It wasn't complicated. They let the players either make mistakes and then they corrected them. So we've got a lot to learn from that, and I've tried to bring that into the academy at Huddersfield. You know, we've done all right the last 12 months. You know, with this new Premier League, the under-21s qualified for the playoff semi-finals, and the under-18s went all the way to the final, and lost 1-0 at QPR. So, you know, we're trying to do it in our academy. You know, simplicity, and don't complicate the game, because it wasn't complicated when I played. You know, and I think at international level we have struggled, but I think we've got to make sure that the players that are playing for us want to actually play for us. You know, because some of them, you know, if it's not a championship or a big game, you know, sometimes they don't want to play, which is disappointing.
And I'm sure you can instill that in them, due to you spending so long at Huddersfield during your playing career, just how important it is to the fans and the area to pull on that shirt.
Yeah, massively. I mean, the chairman Dean Oils backed me 100%, because with the new rules, you've got to put, you know, top quality pitches, 3G pitches, classrooms, analyst suites, everything. But the main thing is, you know, I made my career there, and I signed in '77 and left in '85 to go to Man City. So, you know, I know what it's all about. I know what the supporters want. But the pathway at our club at the moment is quite clear into the first team. You know, we're attracting lads now that are turning down, you know, Premiership clubs to come to us, because hopefully, you know, their parents will see that, you know, they can make a career in hopefully the Championship. But if they're good enough, you know, to be like, I worked with the lad Tom Huddleston at Derby when he was 16, 17, and you know, he's gone on and made it now. And I say to the players, you know, if you put the work in, there's money to be made, but it's not about the money. It's about, you know, being a professional footballer and playing for your local club. So, and all the money will come after that if you produce.
Yeah. Looking back on your time at Huddersfield, I mean, what's your most fondest memory really of your playing career?
Well, I mean, at Huddersfield we had 2 promotions. We went from the old 4th division to the 3rd, then 3rd to the 2nd. I think one of the biggest was playing against Newport County. I was captain. I was 23 years of age, and we won 1-0 and got promotion into what is now, I think, League One or maybe Championship. And a certain John Aldridge and a guy called Tommy Tynan was playing up front, so I had to mark them because I was playing centre half in them days. So that was a highlight. And scoring 4 goals against Cardiff in a game was good, and scoring a winner against Leeds, which was a local derby, which was a sellout. And in them days we had railings and spikes, so you know all the fans couldn't run on the pitch. But I used to jump on them and go mad when I scored. So, but no, good memories really.
I'm going to pass it over to Chris and Owen. I know Chris has been asking our forum members and listeners of the show for questions for you. So Chris, over to you, mate.
Hi, Chris.
Hiya, you alright?
Yeah, good, thank you.
just a question. At academies, do you have to have a certain amount of local lads playing for you?
No, not at the minute.
No.
We've branched out. We took a lad called Danny Kane, who's the captain of Republic under 16s. He's come over to be an apprentice. Well, I call apprentice, they call scholars now. And a lad called Philip Billing we've took from Denmark. But in the academy starts from obviously under 9s right through to 21s now with the new rules. So you have to prove that you recruiting local talent within I think it's a 30-mile radius. But no, we've got a good mixture. We've got some good local lads, and we've just good enough for them. Bradley Carroll, who's only 16. So it's a mix and match really. But we're big on the homeland. We want people from Huddersfield and the surrounding areas to play for us, and that's big in the academy.
Okay, have you got anyone you consider going to be top class in the future?
Yeah, we've got players coming through. I mean, I don't want to put pressure on them, but we've got a young boy called Dwayne Holmes who's just come out of scholarship, who's gone to pro, who's developing well in the 21s. We've got, like I said, Philip Billing who's come in, and we've got a lad called Jake Charles, who's obviously grandson to the famous John Charles, Welsh boy, left-footed. Progressing well in the under-18s, but the good thing is I've got good coaches in there, good experienced coaches. Frankie Bunt, ex-Oldham, Luton, Hull, Steve Eyre, who's worked in Tony Carr's an ex-player. So the main thing is that we don't fast-track them too quickly because they can get in that first environment, but they're not ready. But Jake, I could reel off a few more, but you've got to manage them right and educate them to handle being a professional and handle playing in first team, which we're doing at the club.
Yeah, and how was your Josh enjoying life at Rochdale?
Fantastic. I mean, he's in his final season this year, and he was telling me the other day, I think it's his 55th consecutive league appearance. I mean, he's got a lot more in his career, but I think that shows he's coming on. He's kept a couple of clean sheets, so it's a big year for him because he's only 25 and he's a goalkeeper, and Rochdale are playing some great football, and he's enjoying his football, and it was a matter of getting. He could have gone to a couple of championship sides as number 2, but we had a chat and he just wanted to get games under his belt, and lucky for us, he's kept a. Hopefully, it's not the case of that he gets an injury, but no, he's played 46 games last year, which is great for league games, and then he's continued that this season. So yeah, he's doing okay.
Oh, brilliant. I'll pass you over to Owen. See if he's got any questions.
You. Hi there, Mark.
How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fantastic, yeah.
Good. I just wanted to, touch on a few things, really. Just going back to, you were talking about the Huddersfield, the way they promote into the academy. They try to stay local. Obviously, you said you've brought in a few players from outside the local area. Now, often I read things with youth clubs about this no quota with regards to English players in the academy. Do you think that's detrimental to the international side, or do you think bringing in foreign players into these academies is helping the English lads?
I think the main thing is for us. I mean, we brought Philip Billing in, who's from Denmark, who we feel is going to be a great player, even though he's not English. But I think the better players sometimes get the best out of the English boys. When we've got, and it's proven that at our place, because, Philip's doing ever so well, but the lads who are in midfield at the moment, 2 English boys, are only first-year boys who are keeping sometimes him out of the team, so it spurs them on a little bit. But I'm definitely big on, obviously I want the English young players to get chances, and I know when I first come to Huddersfield as an academy manager, people were telling me that I'd been there years, that when they join the club at 16, when they leave school the first year, they just get bedded in and they don't play a lot of games. And I put that straight out the window. I'm not having that. I said, if they're good enough at 16, they're playing in the team. And it's typified that this season. And last season, we've got 16-year-olds keeping 17, 18-year-old lads out of the team. And I think that breeds a winning mentality. But, it breeds like you've got belief in them. So, we're big on that. I think when the chairman asked me when I got the job, what's my thoughts on the local, I said, that's massive. But if we can get a mixture, one or two. I'm not saying like 5, 6. If we can get 1 or 2 in there, I think that will improve us, because that was the way I decided that was going to go, and he's backed me on that.
And with the academies, there's a lot of emphasis on the better players being poached from the larger sides. I know there was, I don't understand it 100%, but I know there were rule changes which made it, slightly easier for the bigger clubs to get the players and not much money at a young age. Do you think rules need to be brought into place so we don't have, cases where the likes of United take on a youngster and then he's just left to rot in the reserves or in the youth team without actually getting any playing time?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think a lot of the bigger clubs go, just for numbers and not names. To be truthful, we lost a player, we lost a young player at 13, and the new rules go that if they've been, for every year that they've been in the academy, it's £3,000 compensation. So we lost a boy to a Premiership club, and I think we got about 25 grand for him. Now, he was a 13-year-old. Now, if he's going to go on to make their first team, he's got to be exceptional. I feel he would have been better staying with us and learning his trade and getting some league games under his belt. But a lot of the bigger clubs, we're Huddersfield Town, we've got Man City, we've got Everton, we've got Liverpool, we've got Man United, all on our doorstep, having little soccer schools and development centres. And I've got to, as academy manager, say to the parents, the good thing for us now, the facilities that we've got at Huddersfield Town are the top class. So the parents are coming, looking at the facilities and saying, they're not far off the big wigs, and their boy's got a chance, and he's getting game time, and he's getting, games to improve, because that's what a lot of footballers do. You can do all the coaching and training, but the big thing for me is they've got to play games. You've got to play games as a young player or any player to get better and to get experience. That was massive when I worked in Spain. Barcelona and Levante, who I worked with for a month, they went out into villages and played the local teams just to play games, and it's so important, game time, and it's so important that players get that in English football, and I'm a solid believer on that.
And you said that Huddersfield's facilities and history now of having exceptional ability to bring through these young players. You've had Alex Smithies, Jack Hunt recently, and I know Jordan Rhodes wasn't part of the academy, but he was there from a young age. Do you feel pressure taking over an academy which has had such a rich history in recent times?
No, I think it's a challenge. I mean, I could have stayed in Spain. I know when I spoke to the chairman, he said, "What do you think about the EPP rules?" I said, "Well, we won't get category 1 yet. 3 and 4, I might as well stay in Spain. But category 2, if we have a go for it, I think." So it was one of them jobs that you could embrace, and it was like a clean slate for me, because the first time I've been an academy manager, I've worked at all levels, Premiership, international coaching with big players, but this was my chance to run an academy with a clean slate and do it the way I felt it would be good to get players through, and the chairman's backed me on that, and the club have backed me on that with obviously the facilities, and I don't feel any pressure. I embrace it. It's fantastic. I have a saying. I sometimes look back at my career as an inspiration and remember the times I had. People say you shouldn't look back, but I do that as an inspiration. But no, I'm looking forward to getting players into the first team. And like I said, with Huddleston, at Derby, Marcus Tudgay was there, Lee Camp was there in them teams, Lee Holmes, Nathan Doyle. The big thing for me is to produce players that can get in the first team, but can handle the mental side of it as well. Like they can handle playing in front of big games, and they can handle starting to earn a lot of money, and they know how to go about life, and that's so important to be a player in my eyes, in my academy.
And just finally, if the other boys don't mind me jumping in with another question, I was having a chat with a friend about the national level football team, and we were discussing ways in which England can improve. I wanted to get your thoughts on the integration of the youngsters going through the ranks and up into the international team. I suggested that we might be better off not playing anyone under the age of 21 in the full team until they've gone through and had tournament experience with the young teams. If you were asked by the FA for a suggestion on how to integrate the youngsters better, what would you say to the FA?
Well, I can only go the way I've been doing it at our club. I speak daily with the manager Mark Robbins, and we speak about young players and are they ready to get integrated with the first team. I've recommended to the club about a player going up to train with the first team, not just for a day. Let him have a week with them, let him travel with the first team on a match day, and let him get into him, and you'll be able to see. I was in my day, I was fortunate. I was around the first team at 18 years of age and mixing with 26, 27, 33-year-olds. But that's the past now. But for the future, going back to your question, I think we need to integrate them. But if they're good enough, they'll come through. But they need that chance. It's like anything in life. If you want to be a manager, you've got to experience it. And I think young players, and I think that's down to the people of dealing with that. I think you've got to know when to play a player up, when he's not ready for it, when dip his toe in it and see how he handles it. But the main thing for me is that we do get them integrated into the system, because sometimes especially in England, managers come and go. When if a player is if a manager likes him, he's got to have the bottle to put him in that first team environment and see how he reacts to it. And then the coaches have got to be good coaches and know how to manage him. So it's good, but I think that you've got to integrate them quickly if you feel like they're going to be good enough. Yeah, you can learn your trade, and when I come in the academies, they said it's development course, it's about development, but you've got to teach your players as well how to win games, especially when you start getting onto under 18s and under 21s as well. So I think that's big in English football, that we know how to go and win games. We've struggled with that over the years, I think. If we've got a lead, I think we don't sometimes know how to go and win the game and see it out.
That's answered all my questions perfectly. Thank you very much.
So, man, thank you. No worries.
It's answered all of mine as well. I'll be honest, Owen sort of jumped in with that last one. I had it on the tip of my tongue. It's been a pleasure to talk to you tonight, Mark. We'll probably be doing something about grassroots football academies again in the future, so we'd love to have you back on when we do that discussion, if you'd come back on for us.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, at the minute, like I say, that's my main focus at the minute, and I'm passionate about it. So any time, not a problem. And if you ever want to come down to the club to watch the academy playing and go and watch the first team, just let me know.
Fantastic. Thanks very much for that, Mark. I say pleasure to talk to you. Have a good night.
All the best.
Hello, this is Bianca Westwood from Gillette Soccer Saturday on Sky Sports, and you are listening to the V2 Football Podcast.